The only reason that someone would say they're not an artist is because the world has defined what art is supposedly supposed to be.
My name is Imayan Efyong. I also go by Maya, and I am a graphic designer, filmmaker, getting into animation, and writer. I don't know if that's a good description.
Okay, so my name is Sam Lee, and my craft is in music. I like to write songs, especially recently, and lead worship and sing. Those are my main forms of creativity and art.
My name is Jackie Saunders. I make art under the sort of company name Hello Tampa Art, and I mainly do oil paintings and mini canvases and also some line drawings as well.
So this is for my short film called Colorblind. It's a sort of commentary in a sort of satirical way, a commentary on colorism and classism, specifically in the United States.
It just comes to a point when you're working on something that you're finished with it and you're like done with it, and then you can look back on like the frame of mind that you were in, and like, yeah, you always have to love it because it's genuine to me.
I do like it a lot, but there are a lot of times when I don't, when it's really frustrating or tiring. You know, it's art, but you know, art takes practice, and art is not always fun. But I think that in my life right now, I've realized that there is a duty for all of us to make art. And if we have the gifts to do it, then we should do it. So whether it's fun or not, I think it's always good to do it.
The best thing that I think I've ever been a part of or been able to work on is this 2-minute one take that I made with my friends for a competition. I think I really enjoyed it because for the most part when I'm doing like graphic design work or any other art related things, I'm doing it by myself. And I think sometimes I, like anyone else, you know, tend to be super critical and just sort of I doubt a lot of what I make, and I end up not liking a lot of what I make because it's solely just like something I worked on. But with this project, I was working with like 2 of my really like good friends, and all of our ideas were in there. You know, it was not just something I created, it was something that was like created like collaboratively. And regardless of like, you know, we didn't win the competition or anything, but like it was the best thing I think I've ever created.
I made this one-line drawing just in one go. I made it in the dark, but it's of like an old friend of mine. But it was just this memory that was stuck in my mind, and I did it in one shot, and it looks exactly like him. And yeah.
What do you mean you made it in the dark?
I was just like having a moment in my feelings. I'm like, my best friend always uses art to, you know, bring out her emotions. So I'm like, let me do that right now.
I make music because it's enjoyable and it's a way to express myself and a way to express the things that I have, you know, maybe pent up inside, or things that I feel about the outside world that I might not be able to speak about or, you know, talk about in the regular language that we do.
It's something that I wrote about recently, because I was asking myself that same question too. Like, I honestly don't make it for aesthetics or for any sort of message ever. I'm not like a political or social, you know, evangelist type artist. I sort of make art personally because if you're not making something, you're just always consuming something. You're watching TV, you're consuming food, you're taking in media from other people. But if you're not making anything, that's just a constant state of taking in what other people make. So it's sort of like my fight against that, to have myself in it too.
Who is your artwork for?
That's a good
You can
question.
take that how you want.
I think the answer I want to say is like something really nice, like, oh, it's for God. Like, I'm just showing him that, like, wow, look at these like abilities and talents you gave me, and so now I just want to create for you. But I don't think that's really the reason I do it. I mean, I do like creating things, and I like having like a finished product that's like come from my head, but I do crave, like, what's the word? Affirmation, yeah. Even though I did just tell you that it makes me feel really, really bad, at the same time, I'm like seeking it too.
You can just be real and truthful. And I think when you're being genuine, I use that word a lot in real life. When you're being genuine, there is no truth or lie, because you're just saying it.
You said you're like usually like critical of the things that you make. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. If I'm not sure where my stuff measures up, then I automatically start to like nitpick at things, or maybe just compare myself to other similar works out there, and then I don't know, I end up not liking it.
I follow some artists just to like support and comment on their stuff because I want to be a part of that community and give back a little bit, but I try not to look at other art too much, because if I look at something or if I like something, I find that I'll use a semblance of it in mine, so it doesn't feel like it came from my, brain.
Because of the world we live in, we compare ourselves to the world like every day, and especially in art where that is a struggle, is because art is very unique to every individual, and to compare, like, we find ourselves, even though it's unique, even though that's how it should be, even though this art for the sake of art, we just have this habit of comparing ourselves and our art to other people and their art.
I'm scared of like failing or like not being good at it, like working so hard for something, and it's like kind of like the idea that you never really had like a chance in the first place because you're just not that good. Yeah.
If I see something that could be better, I want to make it better. And that's why I think it's hard as an artist, because if you always want to make something better, you're never going to stop,
A lot of my motivation to make new art comes from sharing it on social media, just because it's motivation to keep it new and keep it fresh and to show something new to people. I have come across people in my life that are very against like sharing things on social media, or they just see it at this one-sided view of, oh, you think you're an influencer or something. Like, they don't see what they're actually doing. They just think, oh, if you're posting on Instagram pursuing something, it's like a shallow venture. So that affected me, and I would stop posting just in general.
She said, hey, come and take a look at the sky. But too bad I couldn't.
Because I believe that God created the world and He's a creative God, it's in my identity to also be creative, because I'm made in His image. That's what I believe. So I think when we have a perspective that fits into the idea of like internally connecting with the outer world, like my inside heart and my mind and my soul can connect with the outside world in a way that music can, in a way that just my language can't.
My biggest fear is to just stockpile all my art in my house, and it just grows dust, and I just have it, and it doesn't do anything.
So you like want other people to have it?
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Exactly.
If I'm trying to do something, right, trying to do something good, then like I just truly believe that like I will be able to like get out of it okay, because God is like looking over me. And I don't know if that sounds kind of like dramatic.
I don't think after starting art, I suddenly like started changing into the person I am now, but I feel like it's more of God created me a specific, unique way. And as I do art, I figure out more of how He created me. And it just reveals more about yourself when you do art.
It's definitely pushed me way out of my comfort zone at times, and sort of forced me to become a leader in certain situations, like when I have to be, and also a follower when I have to be. I think it's made me a very well-rounded person.
I definitely put myself out there because of art a lot more. I would say it definitely made me a lot more confident. Like I could take my seat at the table as well. So that's what's definitely changed about me.
As of right now, I still feel like that I'm in a place in my life where I'm developing my creativity and my art. But I've been learning recently that it's about the mistakes. It's about the process and doing art for the sake of art.